Hey everyone. So we are back from Rwanda after spending just under 2 weeks there, and we're now figuring how to get back into this whole daily schedule kind of thing. But you guys, our trip was so awesome. It was incredible. Even though it was only my second time in Rwanda, it was so easy to see the work that MCC has done there in the villages and in people's lives towards just improving the quality of their lives and whatnot. And it was so incredible to be a part of that. There were lots of moments on the trip where I was doubled over in laughter. Talking with my roommate Sarah and getting to know her, and just like snorting with laughter on the safari when Angel and Tyler were just being complete dorks. There were times when the atmosphere was just so suffused with joy and love. When the church in Nasho presented gifts to us and spoke words of encouragement over each and every one of us. It was just incredible. And there were also times that were hard and rough. When we woke up one morning and found out that Kyle Collins had passed away, and we just shared in that grief together through the day and through the rest of the trip. So there were a lot of different things that happened, but I truly believe that in everything, in the wonderful things, in the things that were kind of hard to go through, with the different personalities of every person on there, I believe that everything is God's just going to work out for His glory, and that He extended opportunities to us to be transformed and to have deeper relationships and connections with people. And so I'm just so excited for everything that God did on the trip, everything that He's doing going forward. And I'm so thankful for the team, for each and every person on it. And I'm so glad that we experienced it all together. So it was awesome. We got back Saturday, and I personally jumped right into life. The very first day that I was back, I was in a friend's wedding, and then Monday morning I went back to work, and it's just it's a crazy week at work for me. So there hasn't been a ton of time to really process things so far. There is one moment on the trip that I've really been turning over in my mind. It happened in the village of Nasho. There are these two little girls there that are sisters, and they are just the cutest things I've ever seen in my life. I had seen them on my first trip last year, and then I just got to connect a little bit more with them on this trip. So I was trying to communicate with the older of the two girls. Her name is Angelique, but we affectionately refer to her as Coco Puff. She can't be more than 5 or 6 years old. And I had our translator, Angel, with me, and I asked Angel to tell the little girl that I thought that she was pretty. So Angel spoke to the girl, and the girl nodded to say that she understood. And Angel said to me, I asked her if she understood the concept of beauty. And I just thought that that was really interesting for a couple of different reasons. The first thing that went through my mind was wondering if there was a sort of a cultural disconnect about the concept of beauty, because in American culture it just seems like little girls from very young ages are told oh, you're so pretty, or you're so beautiful, look at your face. It seems pretty common here, so I wondered if in Rwandan culture, if telling your little girl that she's beautiful, you maybe wait till an older age or something like that. But then what I've been thinking about since then, and just trying to have a deeper understanding of, is if I understand the concept of beauty. It's such a huge part of American culture. Beauty is something that is chased after, that is coveted, that is used as a comparison between people and moments and experiences and whatnot. So I've just been thinking about that a lot. If I understand what it is and what all it entails, beauty is a word that I use when thinking and talking about the women that have played a big part in my life. It's a word that I go back and forth between embracing and struggling with in relation to myself. And it's certainly a word that I use when thinking of God. But just trying to figure out like what beauty is, like if it's merely something aesthetic, flowers and sunsets and pretty faces, like yes, like that's one form of beauty, but I've just been wondering if it can be something more. During our safari, our guide was explaining to us that during certain parts of the year, there were sections of the park that were set on fire to eradicate the trees and the grasses there in order to allow the things that grow back to be healthier and whatnot. So I have a couple pictures taken from our Jeep that just like you see the road like leading up through the safari wilderness, and on one side it's all this lush golden grass and all of these trees and bushes and stuff, and on the other side of the road it's literally black because everything has been burned away, and it's just like completely barren when you first look at it. But as we were driving along, you could see on the side of the road where everything was blackened by the fires that there were all of these tiny shoots of green grass that were coming up everywhere. And it just made such a striking picture that, when you're thinking of beauty in an aesthetic sense, like things that are lush and vibrant and flourishing, like, oh yeah, obviously, like that's beautiful. But the parts that had been burned away in order to allow new life and new nutrients and could better support the animals and the entire environment of the safari, like, I think that there's an aspect there that is beautiful as well. So it's something that I'm still processing and still trying to understand, like, okay, what is beauty and how does maybe God use it in our lives? Like, where can we see it? Is it more than just the things that we find lovely, or can it be what at first seems to be hard? Is that beautiful as well? So it's just been something that I've been processing over the last few days and will likely continue to be thinking about and just talking to God about. But I just find it so interesting. So thank you guys so much for praying for us while we were on our trip, for supporting us. And if you would continue to pray for the churches there, for the country of Rwanda, for the people. They're just, it's amazing what God has done there. And I love being a part of it. I love going and doing whatever I can to make some sort of impact and just work for the kingdom of God. And I can't wait to go back again and just continue in the work that God is doing there with MCC. So thank you all so much for your prayers and support. So may someone be inspired and God be glorified.